Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Four Quarters of a Whole Idiot podcast. I'm Noah Drouin, and I'm joined by Austin Specht.
Yes, hello. I'm Austin Specht. I would like to say, personally, football is definitely my favorite sport to talk about, watch, and you can follow me on Twitter at Specty49. Capital S, keep that in mind.
And I'm also here with the fantasy football extraordinaire, Brett Shevlin. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Brett Shevlin here. Very, very good fan of fantasy football and football in general, for that fact. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Shut up, Brett. So you can follow Brett. What's your Twitter, Brett?
My Twitter, if you would like to reach me with any questions, capital BRE, capital TT, _ Shevlin.
You don't deserve to talk into my mic.
Okay. So what this show is going to be about as a whole, the entire podcast, I guess we can say it's just entirely football related and NFL related. How else do we define ourselves?
Well, there's definitely going to be plenty of football to talk about. There's also going to be a lot of laughing because I like to say these two are definitely two of the funniest kids I know. And but the most funniest person I know is myself. I take that trophy home.
Also, I'd like to say that we are 4 quarters of a whole idiot, and it is only 3 of us right now, but we have another one, Austin Corey. He's a ginger. Call him Andy Dalton, because that's what we all call him. He's hanging out with his girlfriends right now. Priorities, I'm assuming. Apparently football isn't good enough.
Yeah, we'll pray to our dear Lord and Savior, Austin Corey. You can find him on Twitter at Austin Corey, which is Austin KH0URY. He's Lebanese, so he has a 0 in his last name.
We got a tough. It comes with the ethnicity. All right, Noah, you want to get this started here? Well,
okay, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember what we were starting with.
Well, our first topic of the day is I don't know what the Oakland Raiders have a fetish with signing criminals, but it wasn't even 5 minutes after Aaron Hernandez got dropped from the Patriots that they offered him a contract, and now they signed Aldon Smith. What is he? Would he get called in to court like 72 times or something like that? I'm just really.
I think it's 74 is actually the number.
Sorry, I didn't do my math correctly. I'm just looking for your guys' opinions on this. Brett, why don't you sauce me your opinion first?
So Aldon Smith, arrested 5 times since he was drafted by the 49ers.
Is that the actual number?
That is the actual number. I can back that up. And Aldon Smith got released by the 49ers sometime during the offseason, and he's supposed to be arraigned in 2 months. Most say that he's going to be in jail for like 2.5 years. I think that's about right. And the Oakland Raiders think that they can get some type of use out of Aldon Smith before he has to go in jail. And I don't know. I mean, I think their pass rush is good with Khalil Mack, but Aldon Smith could be a pretty good upgrade.
Well, I just heard actually that in an interview, Derek Carr said Aldon Smith was going to be ready for week 1. That's tomorrow. That is the September 13th. I just don't think he's gonna be ready. How much playing time did he miss for being stupid?
Did they just sign him yesterday? Was it yesterday?
It was actually 2 days ago.
Okay, so I'm looking at the deal, and he earns $250,000 per game, so that's gonna make him earn what, $500,000 for the entire year, maybe $750,000?
Maybe $125.
He plays the first 30 seconds of the game.
He gets a high five at a Subway card. Steps out in the field, gets high five. The cops take him away. All right, well, I think we can all come to a general consensus that Aldon Smith he's all right. So I was cackling pretty hard when I heard this on ESPN that Harbaugh, who's now at Michigan, says, and I quote, "He's not a bad person. He's just a kid who needs help. Do you know what they call people who get arrested? Bad people. But moving on to the next topic here, I don't even think he's the biggest idiot we're talking about today.
Oh, I know who's coming next.
Cam Chancellor has been holding out like a 3-year-old sitting in the corner for his timeout for God knows, I don't even know, like weeks. And it's over $900,000. First off, this man sits on the toilet and poops out millions. He makes a lot of money. He's an NFL player. And again, I'm going to go to Brett here and ask you, what do you think about Cam Chancellor's holdout against the Seahawks? And Pete Carroll confirmed he will not be playing week 1.
So Cam Chancellor, now he is probably top 5 safety in the NFL, and he should know by now. I mean, making a couple mil a year, Cam Chancellor should know by now that the Seahawks desperately need him after losing Brandon Browner 2 years ago and losing Byron Maxwell last year. That the Seahawks, I mean, they have a great defense, but they do in fact need him. And Cam Chancellor, this is a shout out from me. I'd just like to say that you are the biggest idiot. Cam Chancellor, I don't know what else to say to you. I mean, maybe you should just retire. I mean, I don't know. Cam Chancellor, if you're going to $900,000 is really going to keep you from playing in the NFL, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan.
What about you, Noah? What
Brett Shevlin throwing down the gauntlet. Well,
throwing some shade over
you know
here.
exactly what I was going to talk about because this is something that bothered me years ago when Michael Crabtree got drafted in 2010. At least Cam Chancellor's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He has some establishment. Crabtree didn't play a minute in the he didn't even hit training camp. And he sat out because he didn't like the contract he was getting.
I like the way he didn't even training camp.
He didn't even
OTAs.
Do you even training camp, Michael Crabtree? He didn't. He sat out. And yeah, I've never liked him ever since. And I think it's funny. Where's he playing? Was he on the Raiders? He's on the Raiders. It's kind of funny.
What a coinkadink.
Yeah, he's on the Raiders now. He's not even that good. He was drafted 10th pick in the first round. Got to his head. So I don't have any respect for any athlete that sits out of any contract.
Yeah, well.
As much as you may need the money.
I think you making a couple mil a year is going to be just enough to put some milk for your kids on the
I
table.
could sustain a 6-child family with 5% of what you make. 1% of what you make.
Back to Cam real quick. Now Nick Foles, they're going up against the Rams first week tomorrow.
Who's facing the Eagles? I mean the Rams.
Seahawks.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So the Seahawks are going and playing the Rams, and now it's not like Nick Foles is some no-name fella. I like to say when he's healthy, Nick Foles can hurt you right where it counts. And, they still have Earl. Don't give me that face, Noah. Don't give me that face. They still have Earl Thomas, and they still have Richard Sherman. Ew. But I think that there is a chance that the Rams' defense could do. I said the wrong defense. That the Seahawks' defense might not do as good as they could with Cam Chancellor. So, you want to tell me about that face you just gave me there, Noah? What was that all about?
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can lose a player and still be just as strong. I mean, it's not the first time the Seahawks lost Browner 2 years ago, and they're still the best defense in football, top 3, and made it to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. 3 years in a row?
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think Cam Chancellor leaving is going to impact him too much. I mean, the Patriots now have Malcolm Brown as the starting cornerback to replace Revis.
That's saying something.
So, I mean, you can bring in superstars after superstars, I don't even know. Who's replacing Cam Chancellor? Does anybody know?
No, they made a trade for safety.
Oh, it's Bailey. That was their backup last year, too, but, when I said Bailey, did that ring any bells? Did you guys know who I was talking about?
Wait, Champ Bailey? Is
Not Champ Bailey,
I was gonna
no.
say. I don't know who you're
No.
talking about.
Exactly. There we go.
I mean, honestly, the Seahawks, will they have a good defense this year? Of course. They've always been a very defensive-minded team. However, I think losing 3 superstars in 3 years is definitely going to hurt them in some aspect.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
I
a
mean,
given.
the Seahawks, they have Richard Sherman, they have Earl Thomas, but losing Maxwell, Chancellor, and Brandon Browner, they're not going to be the number one defense this year. I'll just say that. I mean, I think they might have had the best defense last year. I honestly don't know who had the best defense, but I think the Rams are going to be strong. They have a good run defense. I think the Bills, there's a couple teams out there that I think will have pretty stout defenses, so watch out.
Fun fact: number one defense, the Bills. I drafted them. What was that? The 5th round in our fantasy draft. Yeah,
I don't see what that has to do with anything. We're not talking about the Bills. We're talking about Cam Chancellor.
Well, he said he didn't know who the number one defense was, so.
Oh, is that what you said? Oh yeah, yeah. The Bills. Yeah, I would have to give that spot to maybe the Bills from their performance last season.
Another topic is.
Are we segueing now?
Oh, we're segueing.
What's next?
So, RG3, like 25 minutes ago, was listed not as the first, second. He is the 3rd string quarterback for the Washington Redskins. And I can confidently say, I mean, is he good? Maybe.
That's not confident, though.
Maybe.
But I will confidently say he's better than Colt McCoy. And Colt McCoy is a second stringer. But I would pick, I do agree with Shanahan. And I do think that Kirk Cousins is the way to go. But, Noah, what do you think? What do you think's going down in Washington?
I don't think there's any way to go. There's no hope for the Redskins.
I couldn't pick who sucked less.
They stop the franchise. They just sell it to someone else. That's what they do. There's the only shining light for the Redskins right now is Alfred Morris, maybe, and he didn't have a great campaign last season.
Let's tap the brakes there. Let's relax now. Let's not go throwing accusations out.
That's not an accusation. It's a fact.
That is a fact.
I don't like Alfred Morris personally.
I said maybe. He's like an if for like
Top 10 running back.
No, he's not even top 10. No, he's like top 15.
Now,
especially after last season.
RG3's contract isn't done this season. It's done after the next one, so it's done in 2017. And I think, personally, you had your fun. Go to another team. I think they should just let him go. Let him go be a free agent. Because let's run some stats over here. So, 2012, 15 games, 258 completions for 393 attempts with 3,200 yards, which isn't, it's good. It's not like, Tom Brady, but it's...
Is this the season that they made the playoffs?
Yeah, that is the season they made the playoffs, and they left him in, and he destroyed himself. And then he threw 20 touchdowns with 5 interceptions, which I think that's
a 4-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then 2013 comes in again, and he played 13 games for 274 completions, 456 attempts so it kind of dropped in a percentage, but who cares? And then he threw for 3,203 yards, 3 more than last year. And then he pulled a Jameis Winston, and he threw a ridiculous amount of interceptions, and he threw 16 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
Oh, wow.
Not as good as you could have been, pal, but you tried. And then rolled 2014 around, and he played 9 games for 147 completions with 214 attempts for 1,694 yards. For 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in those 9 games.
Wait, 4 touchdowns in 9 games? Wait.
No, 4 touchdowns with 9 interceptions in 9 games.
I didn't even think he played 9 games last season.
Sadly.
Yeah, that's that's actually very surprising to me.
I know Pee-wee leaguers who can throw better than 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's dismal, to say the least.
Now, RG3, he's had his troubles in his career, obviously. Last year was very disappointing for someone who was drafted 2nd overall in the NFL draft. But I think a team could definitely get some use out of him. There's a lot of teams in the AFC who are lacking a quarterback The Bills have Tyrod Taylor. The Jets have Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Browns have McCown. There's like
Yeah, the Texans have, I think Hoyer starting for the Texans this season.
the Texans have Hoyer. I mean, the Redskins, I'm sure, could definitely trade him. I don't think RG3's to that much use of them. The Redskins will probably be drafting a quarterback next year, so I think the Browns, the Jets, the Bills could definitely make a trade for him.
Oh yeah. Oh, they could get something. But now, speaking of, he brought him up, so I may as well talk about him a little. Moving on to the fantasy portion. I have a couple things to tell you guys about here. I have a fantasy pickup and a fantasy drop, and this one coming out of left field here. But I strongly say that if you need a third stringer, not a second stringer, and now I'm not saying I'm going to go pick him up, but I might. You never know. I'm saying pick up Tyrod Taylor. Now.
What?
I see
Wait a second.
They're pointing to the door.
Pump on the brakes a little bit there, dude.
They're pointing to the door. But this preseason, 5 for 8 for 49 yards in game 1, 7 for 10 for 65 yards in game 2, and 12 for 13 for 122 in game 3, and he didn't play game 4.
Okay, so that's against like third string defenses.
You shush over there, all right? But that's
How many touchdowns he throws?
That's not the point. But I think he adds he has a little new flavor. He brings like a nice chocolate ice cream. That wasn't a racist term. I wasn't going for that. But he runs the ball a little more than EJ sucks balls manual. And I just think you could, if you pick him up, you're not gonna. I mean, if you have to pick him up, I mean, clearly your team can't get any worse. So I think he could help you out a little. You know, if you play ESPN like we do, and you have a tie and you got to go off bench players, Tyrod Taylor might give you that couple extra points.
So anybody with a heartbeat
Also,
can give you those points.
Also, he didn't get sacked. Put one on the board for Tyrod Taylor, and no surprise.
Against every team's starting defense,
Yeah,
right?
I don't even think I need to. Actually, you know what, Brett? What do you think about my decision? Go ahead.
Tyrod Taylor, I mean, there's no tape on him. I mean, the only tape you could really go off of is preseason and college. He hasn't really – I don't think he started an NFL game yet. I know he was the backup to Flacco with the Ravens, but I do think Tyrod Taylor brings some fantasy impact to the NFL. I mean, last year there was a lot of no-name quarterbacks that were being picked up. I mean, Austin Davis.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to bring up some stats for Tyrod Taylor's performance up until this point, up until week 1. Who are the Bills playing tomorrow? Anybody know?
The Bills are indeed playing. Give me a second here.
The Colts.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're playing the second best passing defense in the NFL. Let's start off with that. If you want Tyrod Taylor, you do not pick him up for this week. Let's start off with that.
Yeah, I didn't say you had to start him. I just said if you needed him.
Well, if you need bench points, that's not the way to go either.
Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Now, ACL tears are pretty common. I've torn both of mine. If Aaron Rodgers goes out tomorrow and tears an ACL,
you don't pick up Tyrod Taylor.
You
That's
might
your
want to
solution.
pick up Tyrod Taylor. Can you tell me that he's going to do bad?
I can't tell you that. No.
Can you tell me that he's going to do good?
I can't tell you that either.
Well, there we go. It's all about taking risks.
There's
and I
the
would take
upside.
a risk. I'm saying it now. Taking a risk on Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, well, there's the upside because Sammy Watkins is a rising star in the NFL. That gives Tyrod Taylor the incentive to throw the ball. I will say that. But up until this point, Tyrod Taylor, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 199 passing yards,
Hey,
136
we're talking
136 rushing
preseason.
yards.
We're talking preseason.
I'm talking just like NFL to date. So not much to show. When he's been put in, he does not perform.
He was Joe Flacco's backup. Why does he need to play? Joe Flacco
He played some downs. He obviously needed him for whatever reason.
Joe Flacco can sling the ball. I think Joe Flacco has the second best arm in the NFL. Arm, not good. The strongest.
Okay.
A lot of quarterbacks last year were picked up for various reasons, injuries, whatever. certain quarterbacks not performing. Kirk Cousins, for an example, was the backup to RG3 in the beginning of the season. And I know in our fantasy league that me and Specht, Kirk Cousins, we were so high on him for some reason. And Kirk Cousins, we had like a 5-1
it was like God. It was ridiculous. I can name a couple big names. I gave like the Seahawks defense. I gave Jeremy Maclin. Darren Sproles not a big name, but I gave I think it was 7 for 3, 7 for 4.
It was I can bring that up again.
But it was ridiculous looking back on it.
Okay, I'd like to I'm going to actually, just for everybody that's watching, they can actually hear this monstrosity of a trade. So I'm going to read this out loud now. So, we have Brett, the Muffin Stuffers at the time. He trades CJ Spiller, Percy Harvins, and Kirk Cousins. So that's the gold mine right there, Kirk Cousins. And Specht over here, Tim Tebow for days, he trades Reggie Bush, the Seahawks defense, Austin Davis, Darren Sproles, and Jeremy Maclin for CJ Spiller, Percy Harvin, and Kirk Cousins. And this was early October of last season. I can't get the exact date.
It was week 4.
Yeah, it was early October, so it had to have been week 3 or 4.
Either way, didn't work out. I dropped him the next week, but not the point. And I gave you guys a pickup just to think about. You don't have to do it.
Do you have anybody? Okay, well,
Who's your drop?
My drop, and I already know Noah's opinion on this. If you even drafted him, you're a sad human being. I don't know, this quit fantasy football.
Choose wisely, please.
Bishop Sankey.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I don't know what to say about that.
But when I brought this up to Noah before we started recording, he's like, why would you even draft Bishop Sankey? So basically, if you wasted a draft pick on him, now he's not even the starting running back. Now we got Terrence West. And I don't even think I need to continue. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Bishop, he's bad. He's bad.
Okay, well, I do have myself a pickup and drop that I just came up with now. The first person I want to bring to attention, which will kind of segue into our next topic. If you're in a deep PPR league, Dion Lewis, pick him up. I'm saying that right now. I watched the entire game and I really, really liked him.
That was a good game. We had a shootout and a half, man.
Yeah, we can get to that in a second, but Tyrod Taylor. No, don't pick up Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Well, it's like he was very impactful on the game. 15 carries for 69 yards, and then 4 catches for 51 yards. You can tell Brady's going to use him like he would with Vereen. That's kind of Vereen's replacement. And LeGarrette Blount isn't amazing, but if you're in a deeper league, maybe 12 teams, and you need a RB2 or 3, maybe 2, Dion Lewis is not a bad idea. And then for my drop, I'm going to have to go with Trey Mason, probably.
When I went on our league, all right, so first off, let me just give you a
Can I explain my Trey Mason?
Fine. No, it's fine.
Interrupting me.
No, fine, no.
You had this whole spiel about Kirk Cousins and Tyrod Taylor. Kirk Cousins wasn't even involved. I just want to say, it's Todd Gurley's time. They're going to use Todd Gurley when he's healthy. If he's healthy. If he's healthy. No, I don't see the Trey Mason really getting much use anyways. He's questionable for week 1, and these pickups are just for week 1. And I do have one extra ad I want to talk about before we turn over to Brett, because I'll get to that in a second. So for week 1, you don't want Trey Mason. He's questionable. Even if he does play, he's facing the Seahawks. No, he's not. He's facing the Vikings. My bad. But yeah, no Trey Mason. And my other pickup for week 2 and week 2 alone is D'Angelo Williams.
I would have to agree with that.
I don't want to go. I don't want to pick 2 people that have already played, but I'm talking about week 2. If you want to get some value for week 2, I guess we could save this for the next episode. But D'Angelo Williams, that's a little star. I think
he gets a gold star.
He's a good noodle. He's a good noodle. Yeah, D'Angelo Williams for week 2 until Bell comes back. Then you don't need him. Brett, what's your?
So I have 2 pickups and 1 drop. I'll start off with my drop. I know in ESPN Fantasy, he's owned in 90% of leagues, and this is so astonishing to me.
What?
Who could this be? What is it?
CJ Spiller. CJ Spiller is the backup running back to the New Orleans Saints. Specht is laughing right now. I don't know how he was drafted in 90% of leagues, but CJ
Yeah,
Spiller has
okay.
only gotten a 1,000-yard season once in his career. He's more of a pass catcher than
Yeah.
an actual running back. He's injured right now, actually.
Yeah.
So that just astonishes me how he's owned in 90% of leagues. I just had to say that.
Yeah, the Saints, as long as he's healthy, the Saints are going to use Ingram, kind of run him into the ground.
Even Kyrie Robinson, I think, could compete with the second running back slot
Oh, yeah, definitely.
instead of Spiller.
The Saints have too many options for Spiller. Like, if you're going to own a running back in the Saints, it can be only Ingram. That's your only option.
Yeah.
So for 90% of ESPN users, drop Spiller.
Yeah. If you're
Bring him right down to 0. Let's start a campaign on Twitter.
don't even-
Bring Spiller to 0. Every single league.
I don't even know, like, that's a sad statistic. You had a couple more, Brett? Do you have
Yeah, in my two pickups, one is Tyler Eifert, the tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, okay.
And-
That's
Wow, you're picking a sleeper here, pal.
He is a sleeper. Last year, he only had, I think, 63 receiving yards. I think he was injured. I can't remember what happened. He probably tore his ACL, but
probably one could
Most
assume.
likely, I mean.
One could assume.
But Tyler Eifert was a first-round draft pick in 2012, I believe. I may be wrong on that. So don't hold my word for that. But Tyler Eifert, hold on. Let me just pull something up real quick because I read it this morning and I found it kind of intriguing. Tyler Eifert, during NFL, what is it? Scouting Combine. Yeah, that's what they call it. The Scouting Combine. Tyler Eifert had some pretty good cone drills, if I say so myself.
He ran them ladders so damn good.
Okay, here we go.
Are you really bringing up combine stats? Is this real? Are you fucking with me right now?
Don't toy with my emotions like this.
How long ago was this combine?
Like before the end of last season.
Okay, so here's what they have listed on.
I was so confident in you when you bring up cone drills. What?
Let the man talk.
Okay. I won't say anything until you're done.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me speak. So, this is what they say on Outlook for ESPN Fantasy on Tyler Eifert. The 6'5" Eifert ranks in the 89th percentile in the 3-cone drill.
They measure stuff like that.
3 cones. See, that's the kind of stat ESPN puts down when they don't know what to say.
Those ridiculous stats, like if Jay Cutler walks out onto the field with his left foot first in Chicago when his mother is in Section A, seat 152, Jay Cutler throws for 82%.
Thank you. But anyways, I know it seems like a dumb stat, but he is a very versatile tight end. I mean, is he Rob Gronkowski? No, but I think that Tyler Eifert should be picked up. Right now, he's owned in 41% of ESPN leagues.
There's a reason.
So is that stat going up, or is he being dropped? What's the plus minus on him?
His plus is 2.8,
Okay.
so that's somewhat.
That's worth some applause.
That's
right?
worth some applause. So 89th percentile in the 3-cone drill and 94th percentile in the 60-yard shuttle among NFL tight end prospects since 1999. Now, Tyler Eifert, for some reason, I think he's going to have a very great year. The Bengals, they have Andy Dalton as their quarterback, but they don't really have many options besides A.J. Green.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That does make sense.
Jeremy Hill will get a strong workload as well as Giovanni Bernard, but as far as the passing game, I'd say A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert are probably their best options. And
I'll give you that.
yeah. So, and then my other pickup, I actually picked him up a couple days ago in my fantasy league, and that's Duke Johnson.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, unless you bring up some stupid ass statistic, I can agree.
Duke Johnson, I don't have any scouting statistics on him, but Duke Johnson, the Browns traded Terrence West sometime last week, I believe, to the Titans. So Terrence West is a starter on the Titans, but the Browns only have Crowell and Duke Johnson now. I think those are their only 2 running backs. So Crowell will be the starter, but Duke Johnson, I guess their coach Mike Patine is very high on him. A lot of people are very high on him. I'm pretty high on him, so I picked him up. He'll be a pretty good pass catcher. He'll get some early down work. So yeah, 2 people to pick up is Eifert and Duke Johnson, and definitely drop CJ Spiller.
Okay, I'll give you Duke Johnson. That's okay. That's fine.
Alright.
I can agree with Eifert until you brought up the cones, the 3 cones.
Not 4, not 5.
Not even 2,
3.
but 3.
So
What's next?
I'm gonna.
Well, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. Obviously, there's no commercial breaks, but yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back with the over/under segment, and then we'll transition to the Patriots and Steelers game. Okay, and we're back from that little break. We are gonna start up a new segment that we briefly talked about before the little break that we took. It's gonna be called over/under. I guess that's the unofficial name for it.
All right. So basically, you don't know. I'm gonna throw out a projected stat. You'll see in about 5 seconds, and they're Brett and Noah here, and myself. They're just gonna say if you think he's gonna do over, under, better or worse, pretty much. Adrian Peterson, 1,000 yards this season. Noah, over, under.
Over.
Brett,
I say over.
I say under.
Why?
God, the guy hasn't played in a while. You know, you don't just come back and bust out 1,000 yards.
Peyton Manning came back from an injury and.
If you're AP, you do.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's gonna get like 600 yards. I think he's gonna be up in the 900s. I just don't think he's gonna break 1,000. I will admit that they are gonna use him heavily. Moving
You're
on.
absolutely wrong. I'm sorry. That's okay.
That's shocking.
All right. What else do you have?
This is. I think this one is pretty.
All right. Next one. No,
obvious.
I'm done talking about it.
I'm on to the next one. Jeez. Gronk, 15 touchdowns over or under. I'm gonna start off over, obviously.
Obviously, is that like? I mean, that's kind of a bold prediction.
I think he's gonna get a new career high.
What's his current career high?
17.
Yeah. Was he? Does he have 3 receiving touchdowns now? Yeah, he got 3 in that game.
Can I say he'll have 15?
15
Over,
even?
under, or equal?
Equal to, greater than, less than, or equal to.
If he stays healthy, I'm predicting. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna go with like maybe 18 touchdowns this season.
Yeah, there we go.
It's not just because he has 3 in this first game, but who does Brady have to throw to right now? He has Edelman and
LaFell's coming back.
But LaFell is currently on the physically unable to perform list. He's gonna be. That's what it's called.
That's lengthy and weird.
He will be gone.
Pup.
When's he coming back? He's not coming back for week 2, is he?
Week 9.
Sure.
Week 9? You
Whoa.
sure about that, dude?
Well, his pup, for the pup list, you're automatically out the first 8 games. So if he's healthy,
Is that a thing?
That's a,
I'm gonna
that's
have
a
to-
thing?
yeah, look it
I'm
up.
gonna have to like question that stat real quick.
All right, so we'll let him look that up, and I'm moving on to the next one. Without DeMarco Murray, Cowboys over under 10 wins, and I say over. But just by 1.
Under.
Explain.
Okay, I just think DeMarco Murray was such a key part of the Cowboys offense, and they still
No,
have
their offensive line.
I don't think you think that. I think you know that, Brett.
DeMarco Murray's still gonna have 1,000 yards with the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, that Cowboys line just helped. I think DeMarco Murray's just that good.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt completely, but Brett is right. He's not even cleared to play until at least week 8.
Well, that is a shame.
So LaFell is gone for at least for most of the foreseeable future at the moment.
So Noah, you said over for the Cowboys 10 wins.
I actually had the Cowboys going 11-5 this season. That was my big,
There we go.
That was my big projection. I think.
We got one more. Alex Smith, didn't throw any touchdowns to a wide receiver. He just threw to my boy Travis Kelce. So over under 3 touchdowns to a wide receiver this year.
It's over.
I hope.
It's such a freak thing that no wide receiver touchdowns, especially with Macklin.
I think
Alex Smith is not a bad quarterback. He's not.
he's mediocre.
I wouldn't even say mediocre. He's like
Think of a word.
I can't. He's there. He's not like oh like
That was
Alex
the
Smith
worst
like
word.
That was the word. Think of a word, Noah. There.
he's not like you.
Are you an English major? 'Cause
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
But like no, he's there. He's not like he's not here nor there.
But you just said he was there.
He's
So
not
he is there.
He's here not.
But Shut up.
He's here, not elsewhere. He's there.
Noah, just stop talking. You're hurting your
But
own.
no. He's gonna. Him and Macklin together, 7 touchdowns this season.
Woo!
7 touchdowns for Macklin this season.
And I think if they don't pass to Macklin the way that Foles passed to Macklin, I think Macklin might get a little pissed. Right? You have any opinions?
So, do you think that Macklin will be the only wide receiver that catches a touchdown from Alex Smith, or do you think it's any other wide receiver? I don't know who they have
no idea
besides
who they have.
Macklin. But
Anthony Thomas went from running back to wide receiver.
okay, D'Anthony Thomas might nab a touchdown here and there. but 1 or 2, yeah.
God, that man that man runs fast. But this isn't an over/under, but I'm just curious. I want an early week 1 MVP prediction. I'm just gonna toss it out there. Big Ben Roethlisberger.
You're only
For
saying
week
that.
one?
No, not for
Wait, you mean like?
2015.
Oh, you mean like?
I mean
oh,
2015.
You mean for the entire season?
I'm saying Big Bad Ben. And I'm not just saying that because he's on my fantasy team.
I can't disagree with that. I can't.
Me and Noah, I think this is the first agreement we've come to.
The Steelers' offense is going to be one of the best in the NFL once Bell comes back. If it wasn't already, I mean, the Patriots kind of shut them down. But like once Bell comes back, that's so many just completions and yards to Bell in the first place, along with Brown and Heath Miller, who's been playing. He had a great first game. If Big Ben, that's a possibility. That's all I have to say.
No, I didn't ask for possibilities. I asked for who you thought.
Oh, well, it's not going to be... I can't say it's not going to be Big Ben, but I can't say for certain it's going to be Big Ben.
Who do you think it's going to be?
It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. It was last season, but it's not going to be this season.
J.J. Watt?
J.J. Watt...
J.J. Watt is my pick. J.J. Watt should have won, in my opinion, last year.
That's
okay,
a fact.
yeah. I mean, J.J. Watt is kind of the safe bet, but... I mean, I don't want to speak either with bias or with the knowledge of week 1, but I mean, at the moment, like, if Brady continues playing the way he did in week 1, then it's a possibility. But if I could throw out a really, really out there prediction for MVP, this is crazy. I'm going to say Jeremy Hill.
Whoa! Ooh.
Jeremy Hill from the Cincinnati Bengals. You heard me right.
I don't know how to respond because no. I'm just gonna know.
If a running back wins the MVP, and I say if, I think it goes to Eddie Lacy just because the Packers utilize him and are going to utilize him.
Yeah, I
a
want
lot
to say
more.
Lacy. I threw out the next best running back I could think of. Not next best like in reality, but I mean like next person I thought of.
Good, because I was just about to.
No,
if
it's going to be a running back this season, it's probably going to be Charles
Charles.
Bell, or Lacy. Are like the top 3 to win.
Ron
Jaworski
on ESPN said AP as an MVP. I also heard Mark Ingram was mentioned as an MVP. Hey now, let's tap the brakes and back it up.
One of our favorite sayings here.
It's tap the brakes. It's not step on the brakes. It's lightly tap. Let's come to a nice ginger stop.
Speaking of Eddie Lacy and the Packers, they signed James Jones from he was Oakland Raiders last year.
Yeah.
I picked him up. He's on my bench. Don't plan on using him anytime soon, because I think Golden Tate's gonna blow up. Just a opinion, but don't give each other that look. What was that? Golden.
He had a good season. I will
you.
say that, but he was also. I mean, Calvin Johnson missed like 3 or 4 games last season. It kind of pads the stats a little bit.
I call Calvin Johnson the D Rose, and if you don't know who Derrick Rose is, look him up, kids. He injures himself every year. I can't name one year where he wasn't injured. Don't look it up because
I'm looking it up.
Anyways, back to what I was talking about. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to utilize James Jones? I think
he totally will, but
he's
going to be.
He should.
He's the third wide receiver. He's going to be WR3.
Yeah, Cobb and Adams are going to get a lot more catches than James Jones. Even Ty Montgomery or whatever. Sleeper pick.
He has a pretty good box jump, I heard.
Oh my god.
So, no, I have something to say to you, Spec.
Go ahead.
We have Calvin Johnson has played 3 full seasons. he's going to his 8th season.
Wow! Whoa! Look at that! What are you, a 3 for 8 champ?
No, but listen. He played 15 games.
Kobe puts up better numbers than that.
He played 15 games his rookie season, 14 in his third season, 15, 16, 16, 14, 13. So he always plays at least 13 games. So he only misses a total. He's only missed at least, like, at most 3 games, which isn't a whole lot if you think about it. I mean, it'd be nice to have him not get injured at all, but it's not like he gets injured all the time. He's not like D Rose. D Rose misses seasons, not 3 games.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say something, but yeah, it's true.
All right, so Specs, why don't you catch us up on what we were gonna talk about?
Oh yeah,
Wait, what else? What's next? Are we doing more over-unders, or are we going to talk about the Patriots and the Steelers?
we're gonna talk about Patriot. We're gonna talk about Patriot Steelers real quick.
Okay.
So, first off,
Let's talk about Dion Lewis.
oh yeah, you take it.
Dion Lewis. Honestly, I can't say I'd heard about him until
Is it Dion or Dion?
I call him Dion. I'm
pretty sure it's Dion.
He's so fast. That's all I have to say. Like he's like
Sanic, much fast, very well.
Usain Bolt.
I had him as my pickup for fantasy. Like he could take Blount's spot.
When you said that, I thought you were talking about Usain Bolt. I was like, oh, what? Excuse me.
No, Blount. That's all I've just like. He could take Blount's spot. Like if he, I mean, Steelers defense isn't amazing, but
yeah, because Jonas Gray's a Dolphin now.
I was impressed with his performance, and I can say the same thing about D'Angelo Williams. It's too bad he'll be backing up because I heard that he lost 10 pounds over the offseason. He could have lost that 5 years ago. I mean, if he plays the way he did,
I think you're a couple years too late, Chubbs.
No, it's too bad though. He played really well. He was unstoppable. Like he found every gap possible in the Patriots defense, which isn't amazing anymore, but for what it's worth, he played really well.
Now,
but that's in his visual performances. I've already talked about these two, so what do you guys have to say about the game?
Well, just to close out D'Angelo Williams, he's very injury prone. He'll probably get injured again. Just saying. Like him or Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart's on the Panthers. Every year when they're both on the Panthers, one of them got injured. Like they were never both healthy the same season.
Also, the thing about him is they're not. I guarantee you, there's not going to be a running back battle. They're not gonna debate on whether to start Le'Veon Bell.
I never said there would be. I said it's too bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, he did good, and I think he'll continue to do good until week 4.
Well, here's the interesting stat. I don't know if you caught that during the game. No, D'Angelo Williams is I think he's the second oldest running back in the NFL right now. D'Angelo Williams, which is actually really surprising, but he played really well.
Williams is 32. I looked at it.
Yeah, he's 32.
Yeah.
And how could we talk about the Patriots game without talking about Brady? I think we should start to realize it now. That when you start talking about the Patriots and how they, I'm using air quotes here, cheat. In case you haven't realized, I'm a Patriots fan. I don't know how these two designate themselves.
You were my allegiance.
Yeah, but Brett's wearing a Cowboys hat right now, so I don't know about that. Anyways,
wearing his Titans hat tomorrow next week for the next podcast.
Yeah. Anyways, I think when they talk about Brady and they talk about Deflategate, I don't think they realize that. I think that makes the Patriots play better. Tom Brady's not playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's playing with a cinder block on his shoulder this year. No chip. He's not playing with a Dorito. He's going out there, and I think it makes him play so much better. But sadly, they don't realize that. And then not even gonna get into the headsets that Tomlin brought up. Oh, I'm not even gonna get into it. But I think we had a good old OK Corral game there where Big Ben and Brady were shooting it out. I just think I'm feeling pretty good about the season. If every game's like that, I think we're all set.
I think the Patriots and Steelers are definitely going to be contenders for the AFC Championship title.
Did you say Steelers?
Yes.
Steelers. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they're obviously. You could throw in the Colts too. The Colts.
Could? No,
the Colts are like the early favorites for the championship. Like the Colts are the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl.
No, I have the Colts making the Super Bowl.
You said you could. Like you have to throw the Colts in.
Well, I didn't.
If the Colts are healthy all season, like they will make it to at least the AFC Championship. I think. Like all they did was get better from last season. And what did they do last season? Make it to the AFC Championship. All they did, to my knowledge, they didn't lose any key pieces.
Yeah, well, now, yeah, I mean, sure.
They
yeah.
didn't.
All right, so now we're sliding right in. Now, that was Thursday Night Football. But tomorrow, the 13th, we have a couple other games on
Oh,
hand.
yeah, we do.
Oh,
week
yeah, we
one,
do.
the true week one beginning.
All right, this is the official first Sunday football of the regular season. It kind of brings a tear to my eye.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Brett, are you excited? Don't even have to ask. Don't even answer that question. You don't get talking to my mic.
We all know what you have to say.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go through a little segment. Who do you got? Noah, Green Bay, Chicago. Who do you got?
Green Bay.
Brett?
Green Bay.
Chicago. I just love Jay Cutler, and I want to say...
who's better than Jay Cutler?
Shut up.
Aaron Rodgers.
Brett, Seattle versus Rams. Who do you got?
I got Seattle.
I got Seattle, too. Noah?
I want to say
What do you know?
I want to say Rams, but Seattle.
Okay.
Can you name me, besides like Stedman Bailey, can you name me a Rams wide receiver?
Brian Quick.
Oh, okay. Hey, we do our studying here. Who do you got? Phillies, Atlanta. I got Phillies.
Phillies.
Kill me. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
This is awkward. Gimp Sam Bradford with two knee surgeries, running the read option. Stupid idea. I just think they're gonna win because of Byron Maxwell out there, and Ertz. He's probable, but I think he's gonna play, and DeMarco Murray. Even moving on, I don't even think. Oh wait, no, AP's back. I do need to ask. This isn't as obvious as I thought. Minnesota versus San Francisco.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It's an ailing 49ers team against an improving Teddy Bridgewater and a returning AP. I think they're going to use AP a lot.
And Mike Wallace.
And Mike Wallace just joined the team. So I got Vikings all day.
I'm going to pick... I had on my paper San Francisco, then I totally forgot how many people they lost, so I'm switching over to AP in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now, Buffalo versus Indianapolis. I'm going to start here. Tyrod Taylor is going to take him to an overtime win. This is my game to watch. I think Shady and Tyrod and Watkins are just going to go ham. And I just think...
and everybody else on their offense that no one knows.
I just think they're going to... I think Buffalo's going to win.
Okay, I will give you the game to watch stat there, whatever you want to call that. I think it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be one of the best offenses against one of the best defenses. It's going to be a fun game to watch. But I'm going to have to go with the Colts. As much as I want I'm rooting for the Bills this season, but it's Colts.
I already know Brett's answer.
The Colts, obviously, I'm not nearly...
The Colts could win.
Yeah, they could win.
They could win.
Okay, enough with that could. It was misunderstood what my intentions were. But Colts, I think it's going to be a blowout.
Oh, blowout, huh? Against one of the best defenses in the NFL?
Hey, man.
Okay, all right. Well, this is supposed to be a lightning thing. That's
sorry, moving on. KC, Houston. I got KC.
Kansas City.
Carolina versus Jacksonville. Don't even need really to ask. Carolina. Don't even. Oh, my God.
Panthers.
Jaguars.
Why? We got to stop here. Why?
Why?
I heard Blake Bortles is pretty good. He
Blake
ran like a
Bortles
480.
like a cone drill.
He ran like a 480.
You guys don't realize that Carolina is not that much better than the Jaguars. They
made it to the playoffs. I mean, did they lose to the Seahawks? Yes, they did, but they made the playoffs. They're a
With
playoff
a losing
team.
record, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, but still, like in their division,
I think that whole division sucks.
Still made the playoffs.
That's a piss poor excuse of a division.
I mean, they don't have Kelvin Benjamin, but the Jaguars are still not good enough.
Watch out for TJ Yeldon.
Because the Panthers do have a pretty good defense too. TJ Yeldon. Yeah. Panthers.
God, Jets versus Cleveland. Sadly, I have to say Cleveland, even though I hate them with a burning passion.
Jets.
Oh my. Miami versus Washington, and let me tell you.
If you say Redskins, I'm can't like this.
I'm going Dolphins because I think Tannehill is primed and ready. Not MVP, but I think on paper, I'm not saying they're going to do better, but on paper, I think the Dolphins have a better team than that entire division. Better than the Patriots, better than the Jets, better than the Bills. I think you got Sue, you got Jennings, you got Kenny Stills.
Lamar Miller.
Yeah, Lamar. I was getting there.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill. Got Jordan Cameron.
Devontae Parker.
I think that's so good.
It does sound very good.
Moving on, Noah. Who do you got?
Dolphins.
Dolphins in a blowout.
2 blowouts.
2 blowouts, yes.
New Orleans versus Arizona, and again.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun game. That's another game to watch, in my opinion.
I had Arizona absolutely destroying New Orleans. Like destroying.
No, I'm gonna go. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's another hard one. I'm gonna have to say Saints.
The Saints defense is falling apart. Cardinals.
But the Cardinals' offense isn't amazing either.
Yeah, but neither is the Saints. I mean, they have Drew Brees.
Drew Brees and Brandon Cooks all day.
Brandon Cook. Cooks.
An aging Colston.
They have Cadet. Hi.
They have Marcus Colston, who's still okay. I think he caught over 100 yards last season.
When I was young,
100 yards.
1,000
catches.
1,000.
A couple of years ago, I thought his name was pronounced Marquis. Anyways, Detroit, San Diego. I think without Antonio Gates, I think Detroit wins.
Detroit does win this game, yes. Even without Sue.
Yeah,
win the game.
Detroit, I think their running attack and their passing attack is pretty good. Abdullah and Bell will have a strong workload, and Calvin and Golden Tate will have big games.
Now, next game, Baltimore versus Denver, and if this game goes the way it went last time they faced in Week 1, Peyton Manning's first year in Denver, I think Denver's going to do pretty good this year in general.
No, they always
but
do.
I think KC's going to take the division. But that's none of my business. But I have Denver.
I got to go with Denver. As much as I want to say Ravens, I don't think they have the defense to stop Peyton Manning.
They have Smith Senior, and then they have they don't have Owen Daniels, and they don't have Torrey Smith.
They have a rookie named Max Williams now as their new tight end.
And they have Forsett.
Forsett.
And but no Tyrod Taylor, so that's what if they miss the playoffs for the first time without Tyrod Taylor on the team, I'm calling that not a coincidence.
So, yeah, Denver. That's my pick.
Oakland versus Cincinnati. I got Oakland. I love Amari Cooper and I love Derek Carr.
I think it'll be a close game. No, you said Cincinnati? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cincinnati.
Now,
Jeremy Hill will run all over the worst rushing defense in the NFL, and that's going to be the story of the game.
I'm just going to say, just take a look at who's behind center for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think that answers your question right there. I think Andy Dalton's pretty bad. But moving on.
But who's behind Andy Dalton? One of the fastest rising stars in the NFL.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the depth chart. I think I'm going to start a hashtag on Twitter, free AJ McCarron. I think if AJ McCarron sits on the toilet and he poops out national championships, he does. Oh my God!
Yeah, so did
I think anyone who
most
plays
draft busts in the NFL.
I think anyone who goes to any SEC school like LSU or Alabama needs to just automatically start in the NFL because that is it goes. There's all right. So hold on. There's hold on. OBJ. Ridley did good until now.
Where do you go to LSU, right?
Yeah. AJ McCarron can do great. Zach Mettenberger didn't do that bad.
Yes, he did.
You shut your communist mouth. Oh my God, I love the SEC. There's NFL, there's the SEC, 20 feet of shit, and then there's the rest of college. And I didn't even get to the next guy. So
what's the next game?
Tennessee Bucks, and I couldn't pick who sucked less, so I picked the Bucks just because of Austin Sperry and Jenkins.
Is that a joke?
No, I'm gonna pick Bucks. I'll pick Bucks.
I'll pick Bucks.
I love the Mariota versus Winston scenario though.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. The first time that
I do like Mariota better than Winston, but I think
I
don't know. I have a feeling the Bucks do take this game.
There's something about Mariota's face that annoys me. I don't know why. Looking at him,
you against Hawaiians?
I'm not. Is that a thing? Can I be racist?
I didn't even know he
against
was
Hawaiian?
Hawaiian, but
Yeah.
learned
All
that today.
right. And the last one, we got Giants at Dallas, and I got the Giants.
That's gonna be another
I got the Giants.
at Dallas. The Cowboys were 8-0 on the road last season, but they were 4-4 at home, which is really, really weird. But they should have been a really good home team if you think about it. I think it's their first game without Murray. They're going to be kind of they're going to be kind of confused as to how to like divide the time between Randall and whatever the other guy's name is. I can't forget his name is.
Oh
Huh?
yeah, McFadden.
McFadden, yeah. Yeah, I think the Giants will win this game.
I got the Cowboys, not because I'm wearing a Cowboys hat right now, but I'm honestly, you can call me a bandwagoner. I just like the hat. But I think the Cowboys, even though they don't really have like a true number one back, the Giants' defense is probably one of the worst in the NFL. And I just think the
Do you have
Cowboys.
anything to back that up?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
history. I don't know.
The Giants defense won both their Super Bowls in the last couple of years.
Well, because
Well, not a couple, but you know.
Eli Manning is kryptonite to the friggin' Patriots. I don't know what he does before games. What they put in the water.
He suddenly becomes like his brother for once.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, for one. I'm finally better than my brother. But anyways, we're gonna sit down for a moment. We're
You
gonna
included you included
Did I
Monday
forget a
Night
game?
Football, right? Oh, wait, no, it's Falcons Eagles for Monday Night Football, right?
I got
Okay,
it.
you
Yeah,
didn't
don't
do that. Never mind.
don't get it. I got. Well, first off, before I move into the last segment here, we need to talk about Monday and Thursday Night Football. I don't want to see this was a game from last year. I don't want to see Matt Ryan come out it was a Thursday night game against the Bucks and blow them out like 57.925 to nothing. All right, I want to see good games. Thank you very much. Don't
He beat
waste
them so bad they didn't want to keep the scoreboard going, so they threw in decimals instead.
Don't waste my time showing me horrible
God,
Thursday
he
and
picked
Monday
up the
night
mic
games.
is in his mouth. He's literally sucking on the mic right now. That's how furious he is.
Wow, I mean, yeah, Bucks.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. I just think that the NFL has to give some TV time to like bad teams.
This is true. I mean, if they don't, then
It's
no
all
one's
a
gonna remember
rating.
they exist.
Yeah.
It's like if you're watching Sunday football at like 4:25 games, and you see like Packers versus the Seahawks, or you see like Titans versus Jaguars, what are you gonna watch?
Packers.
Exactly. So like Thursday night is like the only time they can be like, or Monday is like the only time they can like, okay, we got to get the Titans in there, we got to get the Bucks in there, got to remember they exist, guys. So that's probably their thought process.
Force NFL fans to watch because it's the only game on.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, one more topic because I don't know why I thought of this. Probably because it was a Monday game and it was on at like 10 in the morning. When you know how they go to Wembley and like they're thinking about putting an NFL team there.
Yep.
Like a full-time NFL team, and I think that is.
Well, first of all, if they do that, they need to add another team because 33 teams is just going to be really, really annoying.
Yeah, it's not.
Besides, it would make the divisions lopsided. I like how every division has.
4.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bad idea.
No, it is.
It's a really bad idea. I mean, who's gonna like go to like London or whatever to go see a game? Like people who actually pay for 16 games, they actually travel to go see their home, like not their home team, but their team on the road.
Yeah, they do. But now I have we talked about Jeremy Maclin earlier. But I have a story about Jeremy Maclin the other day.
This is the closer to the show here.
So
I just hit my mic.
We were talking about. All right, so I made a trade for Ryan Tannehill with Brett over here. I believe it was Roddy White, Tannehill for Ingram, and I accepted, and I got Tannehill. So I tweeted at Tannehill. I was like, "Yo, Tannehill, step it up. Thanks. Bye." And then Brett. I sent that screenshot to Brett, and Brett sent me a message saying, just don't tweet at Jeremy Maclin. And I was like, why can't I tweet at Jeremy Maclin? Because I'm like a 6-year-old, and you tell me not to do something, I'm going to want to do it more. So I tweet at Jeremy Maclin.
Well, let's preface this a little bit, like why we tweeted to Jeremy Maclin about fantasy football. We got to bring up the little backstory.
Well, he was trashing an analyst. I don't know why. He said, how can you be a hardcore fan of your team and want them to do bad because you're going against them in fantasy. And that made me immediately. I tweeted at Jeremy Macklin and I said, Macklin, this is a joke, by the way. Macklin, the guy I'm going against is starting you in fantasy. Can you, tear an ACL this week? Please? Thanks. Bye. And then after he didn't answer, I kept tweeting at him. I was like, take one for the team, pal. Do me a solid. And then after 20 minutes, I get a response from J Mac. And he's like, very disrespectful, bro. You're a sick human being. And I was
We
pissing.
all lost our minds.
Yeah, I was pissing in my pants. I wasn't legitimately, but I was
You're borderline.
most exciting moment of my life. And he blocked me on Twitter, and I was so excited. And then I started to feel bad, so I tweeted back at him and apologized. And the guy who responded wasn't Jeremy Macklin. It was the exact same Twitter handle, just instead of _19, it was _18. And it was...
I think it was one extra underscore too, and none of us realized it until I wanted to go on Jeremy Macklin's Twitter, and then I saw that the tweet to you didn't exist. It was gone, and I was thinking, why would he delete it so quick if it's still there for you? And then I found I clicked the Twitter you were tweeting to, and lo and behold, it's not actually Jeremy Macklin. He has actually no followers and he's following nobody.
We gave him the most tweets and fame he's ever going to get in his life. And he was telling us to go get lives. And I'm like, says the guy who's pretending to be an NFL wide receiver.
It should be said that the real Jeremy Macklin did
block me. He
you.
legitimately blocked me.
Yeah, that's the
So
funny
now
part.
I can say Throwback Thursday to the day Jeremy Macklin blocked me on Twitter. And I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, that's the end of the first episode. If you guys have any more last second thoughts, do either of you have anything to say?
No, I'm all set.
Hopefully next week we'll be joined by the person that actually makes the quarter, Austin Corey. If you're watching, you're not watching anything. You're actually listening to this. Austin, just make sure you're here next week because we don't want to change the name. And I want to end this podcast with 3 cheers for Austin's fantasy team Austin's dad's fantasy team finally being set.
Yeah.
So let's go. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray! There was much rejoicing.
So, make sure you follow Spect on Twitter at Specty49, Brett at Brett_Shevlin. You can follow me at NoahETR, and you can follow the podcast on Twitter. It's a weird acronym.
Yeah.
Can you read it out loud for me, please?
I will read the acronym out loud. It is 4QWI_P, makes a difference, podcast. We have a whopping 1 follower, and it's Noah.
As of recording. So you can find us on Twitter at what is it? 4QWI_podcast. I'm getting used to the acronym. We came up with this name hours before the show.
Before the 4Q.
4QWI_podcast
yeah, there we
on
go.
Twitter.
Alrighty.
You'll find out when we're posting, when we're recording, and stuff like that, however we decide to use
Alright,
Twitter.
I got nothing else to say.
With that being said, thank you for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you for
Alright, yeah. For Noah Drouin and Brett Shevlin, I'm Austin Specht. We'll be back next week.
Bye.